Hey guys, it's McDonald 9 LG Commissioner, aka Brody, what most people call me. Here, just gonna do another little more extensive video, kind of a welcome video, an introduction to the website and the tools for our new managers who step up mid-season or get hired and have some questions and want to just like take a proactive approach to their own learning and really find the ins and outs of being a manager. Um, Start off on the homepage here. You can tell you're on the homepage when you see the chat box. This is currently the only location that the LG chat box is located. Depending on what league you're in, we'll talk specifically with the CHL right now. I always use the top icons to navigate the website. So if you click on the LG CHL logo, this will take you directly to the CHL forums. Once this loads up here, we'll take a quick peek so you can see, CHL forums, toolbars, recent videos for the league, some league information, then you have some of the stats up here, some of the forum sections with some of the important stuff. Obviously, we have some all-star stuff going on now too. Mid-season constitutional amendment, and just some posts for me as well. Your subsections are pretty important as well too. So your CHL management office, we'll come back to this later on, but this is where where business takes place. Your Players Association subforum, this is a really good place to direct your players to if they have any questions or anything going on. Official news, any important news I want to pass on to you guys over time that potentially may be down here. This is sticky. Will be moved to the official news form eventually as well. Rules and assignments, so on and so forth. So this is all new assigned players get their own welcome thread. That's posted here as well too. And seasonal form manager. So I know in the off season, if you're looking to hire a GM or an AGM, this is where they'd probably be posted. So I'm going to start off, give you guys a quick walkthrough of the toolbar. Toolbar is like where majority of the important information is. First tab is pretty obvious right here. It's rules. So it's got the first tab here is a quick, if you click on this, it's a quick thread, how-to thread in regards to how to post stats, take pictures. It's really helpful. That's why it's front and center. It's really important that give that a good read yourself, understand how it works, and then promote your promote and educate your players on how to do this as well too. Show them where this is located, give them the information so they can also assist you when it comes to pictures and so on. Then we have our 4 articles of the Constitution, league structure, scheduling, rosters, transactions, the rule book. So pretty basic stuff. It's a lot of writing here for new guys. I don't expect you to memorize those 4 articles. That'd be a little ridiculous. But what I do expect is, take the time to give them a quick read. If you have questions, make sure you take a proactive approach. Try to find the answer yourself. And if you can't, don't worry about it. That's why staff's around for PMs and so on. Standings is standings, pretty obvious. It's broken down into playoff, and regular season. So click on the regular season. It's pretty nice, pretty in depth. Gives like winning streaks, goals for, goals against, last 10 games, home and away records, plus your 1 goal game records. Pretty good stuff. It's also broken down into conferences and so on the sides. Pretty great information. The news tab is extremely important. Everything that kind of goes on in the league is posted here as well. And it also gives you a couple different options. So you can sort by team. So let's say Halifax. So this is what's kind of going on in Halifax, like El Presidente, clear training camp. Cool. But it also gives you the option to sort different things. Like, who was removed from the league? Let's see. Who was Halifax removed from the league? So Crazed Fish was removed from the league, and it was on the 27th of March. Time's all right here, time stamped. So you can sort specifically by teams, you can sort by league, and you can also sort by, how many you want to see. So it gives you a ton of them if you want to do it that way as well. So it's all really important stuff to take a look at. The Action Center is the most important one, so we'll hit that at the end. So we'll take a look here, videos. So this is once again, it gives you a bunch of options to sort. These are all the live streams and the games that were recorded by the CHL members. Go back to news quickly here too. So the trades tab, which is also below the news feed, kind of gives you an idea of all the different trades, which is kind of nice. So you can see, as they're auto approved, they come and show up here. Also gives you the option to sort by team. So you can see, okay, I just clicked Sault Ste. Marie. Okay, who did Sault Ste. Marie get? Oh, here's some trades that they made. Oh, perfect. Which is pretty cool, right? So it's cool to see all that kind of stuff. Rosters, go down to the roster page. This is pretty neat as well. Tons going on the roster page. So this is broken down the entire CHL. So currently this season we only have an OHL and a QMJ. So this is both the OHL and the QMJ combined into one. So you can see these rosters are broken down into an active roster, which consists of 17 players. So you take a look here. So boom, 17 guys active roster. And then it's actually below it is broken down into a training camp roster as well. Training camp rosters for those who don't know, are the leftover guys. They're the guys who you can use as ECUs if you need be, and it's importance. A couple other things you want to note as well too. The icon right here, the little arrow, that kind of gives you an indication that player has been called up to an above league, whether that be the AHL or the NHL. The important thing to understand is there's stipulations and rules in place that restrict certain movements up and also give you guys some options at the CHL level. So if a player is currently called up to the AHL as a temporary call up, so replacing a guy who's on the injured reserve, this gives you the option at the CHL to still use him. If it's a permanent call up, this guy would actually be automatically moved to your training camp, would give him the logo, and he'd be ineligible to play anymore at the CHL level. The little white cross logo that you see right here, that shows you that the player's on the injured reserve, which we can go over briefly soon too. And then obviously your GMs are listed, your AGMs are listed. Then your contract years are on the end here too. So 1S means he was given a 1-season deal. 0 remaining means at the end of this season, he has nothing left over, nothing remaining. So he'll be a free agent, and $500,000 is his current salary. As you can tell, all different salaries depending on how the players are picked up and when they're picked up via bidding and so on. The different colors also kind of gives you kind of an idea. Obviously red's a hot streak and dark blue is a cold streak. So depending on how the players are playing will also dictate what hot streaks they're currently on. Go back up to the toolbar. So stats is pretty cool too. It's broken down in all kinds of different things. So team stats, member stats, player history is kind of neat. I'll show you this as well. So say, you're in the scouting process, you have some questions about a friend of yours who used to play in the league. When you type someone's gamer tag into the search, and you click on it, it brings up their entire page, which is really, really handy too. So when you see someone's page, it kind of gives you right now, what their, how many seasons they've had, their current season stats. You can sort that. So currently season 20 in the NHL. Check out season 18, I was in the AHL, and then season 2 CHL, I played 1 game. Also, the news feed's also pretty handy too. See, when a guy was traded, who was traded for, injured reserve, how many times he's been on that, which is also really important. Your play with feature will show, who the guy commonly plays with. If the guy is prone to uploading videos, the video tab here will show his recently added videos. Awards that the person's run. Career totals and teams they've played for, and then your contracts. The important thing about your contracts to understand is to realize that whoever issues this, if it says LG was the person who issued the contract, all that really means is the player was randomly assigned. It's a good way to check to make sure that the person, to understand how the person was assigned. And then next is clicking your actual stats. This is pretty neat too. It's broken down into OHL, QMJHL, and WHL. Currently no WHL this season, therefore we won't see WHL stats. You can also sort by team, so you want to select a team. If you don't, feel free to click on a logo. It'll give you just that team stats. So if you scroll down here, OHL. So it auto-generates based on points first, right? So you can see how many games the person's played, their record, their points, goals, assists, plus, minus, shots, shot percentage, penalty minutes, hits, power play goals, shorthanded goals, face-off percentage. Pretty neat, pretty cool stuff, but you can sort anything you want too, right? So you want to see, who's got the best shooting percentage in the right now. So it shows you all the different shooting percentages as well. Pretty neat stuff. As you scroll down, so that's OHL, that's the Q, and then you got goalies. So it kind of gives you, auto sorts on, once again, save percentage. You can go goals against average. Who's got the best goals against average? Who's got the worst goals against average? Kind of gives you the option to do that as well. Same thing for the OHL goalies as well. You also have the option to sort if you want forwards or defense. No, because right now it's set to all players. Set a minimum of games, set regular season, playoffs, preseason. You're able to do all that stuff, which is kind of neat. Your rankings, this is just the power rankings that Triz runs weekly, based on teams, based on players. It's a quick breakdown of how they go up and down, and each week there's an auto-generated thread that's posted based on these results as well too. Kind of cool to see. We'll head to the Action Center. So this is kind of the bread and butter of where you're going to do majority of your work as a manager if you have complaints or issues to deal with. Just note that your open actions, you guys won't ever see that. That's just based on my staff privileges right now. This is where staff takes a look at all the complaints. So there's 3 different types you can do. You can file an appeal, you can make a request, or you can file a complaint. So appeal is pretty standard, right? So you can click on the appeal here. Make sure you always give these a quick read. It's usually important information for you to realize. So you can select your league. So I'm currently an NHL player. Select the action. So what happened to you? Is it just a general appeal? Is it something like right here? Boom! I was issued a minor penalty in season 17, so I want to appeal that. So in this location here, I'll give my reason why I want to appeal it, give a heads up, I'll kind of provide some evidence that supports my appeal. Whenever that's said and done, I'll just make sure I verify that. So it's really important to understand and to verify that this is how I want to do things. So it's important. Requests, this is also really, really important to show your players. Retirements, obviously, that's an off-season thing only. Trade requests is something that they can see where it is too. Positional changes, it says preseason for a reason, so during the season this is off limits as well. The most important request, though, is obviously injured reserve. Some recent requests to the injured reserve has not allowed players to come off early. So first things first, select your league, select the dates you want to go on IR. So say I'm gone from today and I'm not going to be back till next Friday, the 10th. I'm on vacation or whatever, right? So player puts in here, gone away, so on and so forth. Once they verify this and submit it, it'll actually put them on injured reserve for you. Just keep that in mind as a manager. This is not the section you want to go to if you are requesting your player to be on IR. This is only for your players to use or for you yourself to use if you are going on the injured reserve. This is a really, really important section to show your guys how to go on IR if that's something they need to do. We'll go to the complaint section. So complaints broken down into some pretty standard things. You got your in-game, you got your management, your players' rights, your staff, and your other. So other is really basic. If it's something that you can't find in these other sections, file the complaint under other. It gives you the option to still file it. Staff complaints, also really basic. If you have a complaint on one of the staff members, feel free to file it here as well. It goes to the website administrators. Players' rights. Inform your players if they have an issue with how things are being handled. They do have rights and they can file complaints on that as well. We'll get more into the bread and butter of what you guys will be handling as a manager. So management section here too. So these are all your complaints to review. So late lines, incorrect lines, not managing a team, no stats, false stats, incorrect stats, compensation, reschedule requests, placing a player in IR, player removal request. So the most common one is obviously our player removal request. So first things first, always select your league and then select your player. Whenever you select the correct league, it'll give you the option to auto-select your player as well too. When it comes to proof, it's really important, and a lot of guys are kind of fail to understand what's provided as proof. I know right now I'm using a Windows computer, so when you actually hold the Windows button and you press the print screen button, it gives me an option. It screenshots your actual screen. So if you get a PM from a player saying I quit, player says I quit in your team chat, the quick way to do it, just screenshot that, use it as proof. At the top here, I've uploaded this quick website here, Imager. It's really, really, really simple. As you see, I'm not even logged in, so you don't really need anything else. So you go upload an image, you go browse your computer. I want to go my pictures, my screenshots, and the one I just took was right here. It was the screen I was just on. Let's start uploading. So once this is uploaded, you'll see that we're just going to pretend this is the proof I want to provide. So boom, that's the page I was just on, as you all can see. Your code right here, your image code, if you just copy that and you just paste that into here, that gives staff the option to actually review that picture. That's so you can send it in. Sorry, I said that wrong. This image right here will give the staff an option to check out the image in a PM. So if you want to send it via PM, that's the link you want to use. If you want to give us just a direct link to the picture, this is the one you want right here. The very, very first one, image link. So copy that into here, paste that, give a little spiel what's kind of going on, file your complaint. That's your best bet from there, right? And then when staff reviews this, they can click on your link that you provided. They can see your picture. They can kind of see, oh, yeah, player said he quit, and they can action your complaint way easier, way quicker. Once again, free website, no membership required, super easy way to do it, super easy way to get pictures on your computer. So keep that in mind, use that to your advantage, and make sure you're always providing proof when it comes to complaints. Another big one, too, is placing a player in IR. So exact same thing as I just said, player says in the team chat, hey guys, gone for the week, need IR. Screenshot it, post your link, select your league, obviously select your correct player so staff know who's going on IR, and then submit your complaint. So it's very, very easy to do that kind of stuff. So I just hit the wrong button there, that's all. So yeah, so that's really basic. Your next step here under management, which is also important, is incorrect stats. So the neat thing about incorrect stats is kind of the only complaint that you don't actually have to provide evidence because you can link a game, right? So NHL, pick a date. So Wednesday. So pick a game. So what game was yours? So we'll say it's the Columbus-Montreal game. And what users were found guilty in this one here too? Well, McDonald didn't put the stats in correct that night. So boom, here you go. So that's your evidence is all right there, because when this loads up in the complaint, staff has the option to go look at that game via link. So just give a quick synopsis in the box here of like what your problem is with this game, so we have something to review. And that's the basics for when it comes down to management complaints. Those are your 3 biggest ones that you'll be looking for. In-game is pretty common sense. These are all your in-game rules that are located in Article 4. As things come up, just biggest thing with these, diving, board plays, ragging the puck, those things are big important things. Try to provide evidence, and the best form of evidence for in-game stuff is definitely video. Unfortunately, I know it's difficult at times for majority of players to get video uploaded in, but try your best to put some video into these so it gives staff something to deal with, because it's really hard to make a determination when you can't actually see what happened in the game, and then you're kind of going by hearsay, which is something that we don't feel comfortable making rulings on. Disconnection procedure is a pretty long procedure that's located in Article 2. Any issues with disconnection procedure, I do understand it is kind of difficult to provide proof, so give us a best description of what you can of what went on and what the issues were for this. If you have pictures, provide pictures, but this is your best spot. In a nutshell, that's filing complaints. That's complaints you're going to file, so on and so forth. So the only other thing I really want to show you is recent actions. So when you file a complaint and it gets ruled on by staff, you will get a notification saying that the ruling on your complaint has been handled, so on and so forth. So when you come to recent actions, you can read what staff did. So I'll give you an example here. This player right here. So the complaint was filed on him. This is what staff wrote. Everything that's in this box here is what staff wrote. So as per Article 3, Section 3.3, player was removed. So punishment down here, player was given a 1-season ban. So even if there was a complaint filed against you, and you want to know why you were given a suspension or a penalty or so on, make sure you check the recent actions and find yourself, And this is really important because you'll be able to see prior to talking to us what the issue was. Maybe it was a misunderstanding, and it'll give you a better idea of why you were given that punishment prior to making your appeal. So recent actions is extremely important. Last thing I'm going to show you on the toolbar is the manager tab. So as a manager, you'll be given this access. So different options are here as well too. So input score, pretty basic stuff. As a manager, you have the option to edit scores for all of your games. Here they all are here, right? So as a game comes up, make sure you edit the scores for the games that you played. Extremely important to do. It's one of the 3 ways you can actually upload stats for the game. The only thing to remember is that when you upload pictures via this tool, it won't actually auto-generate stats like the OCR does. The front office, this is your bread and butter. This is where all your tools are, so everything works. This is how things kind of work. So your GM and AGM, don't ever touch these buttons. This will kind of like remove your access. It kind of gives us just a quick way of like giving you access, checking your access. So please don't play with these buttons here as well too. Your little box here kind of gives you the option of who's on the block, who's not on the block, who's open you're trading with, so on and so forth. Your send button is kind of neat as well too. So as you click it, you have to confirm your action. So as you confirm your action, so where are they going? So you're going to send them down, yeah. And why are they going down? So we're going down to the training camp. By doing this, and you perform this action, this will put the player on waivers if they're a player who is not waiver exempt. The next one here is your little triangle. So this is your warnings. So if a player misses a game, issue them a missed game warning. Put, then you can select what game it was that they missed. So put in, missed game. Boom. Issue that. That puts a warning, on the player's news feed. If it's one of the other complaints where, you're going to issue a removal warning for a player who hasn't been active, once you issue this, the player has 72 hours to respond. If they don't respond in 72 hours, the player can be removed. So that's how you issue your warnings. This is your buyout option on the end too. So by clicking this, it places the player on waivers, and you get a penalty hit of half their salary on your salary cap as well too. If you scroll down here, all the guys that are on training camp have a training camp logo. So quick thing for these to understand is when they're on the training camp and you want to call them up as a temporary call-up, it's really important to understand that they can only go up, obviously, right? And if they're going up as a temporary call-up, you have to select this. So who are they going up for? Okay, so we have our GM's on waivers. So our GM right here, he's on waivers. Sorry, not waivers. He's on injured reserve. So this is we want to use this player to replace this player who's currently on the injured reserve. Make sure you always select who they're replacing to do this properly. That's extremely important. That's the only really difference about your training camp players. You can put them on the block, take them off the block, do whatever you want with them. But that's what's important about this stuff too. Obviously too, if you put in the numbers of your players, it'll show up on their news feed too, what number they are. Your trade manager, this kind of gives you a quick synopsis. Let's say you send a trade offer. This is all you also receive trade offers. So if you want to select one of your players who you want to trade, you can pick whatever team you want, and whenever player you want off one of those teams, select what player you want for them. That's how you send a trade offer. Very, very, very easy stuff. Add player. Don't ever really use this. This is only really to add yourself to the team. And maybe in rare situations when staff tells you to use it, but don't ever use this at all. When it comes to offering, say you need a new AGM during the season, so you can select your AGM, type in the player's username who you want to offer the AGM to, and it'll populate in here, and then you can send the offer. By sending that gives them access to being your AGM. Your other management tools, this is more for contract extensions in the off season. That's where it's all located here as well. Your trade manager, this is kind of your next step here too, which is kind of important. You can select your team status. I'm looking for puck moving defenseman. Boom. Announce that. So now everyone knows what you're looking for. You can search all the different players in the league. You can select, how much cap you're looking for, what position they are, what status they are, and then that's pretty much how that all works in regards to that. Waiver wire is your next big one. This is your waiver wire, which is super important. So as a player is on waivers and teams place claims, you can see which teams have placed the claims. And I believe it's set up that the team that comes first was the team that placed the claim first. You can also retract one of your claims as well too if you want to retract your claim. We're working on something for the near future, like probably in this area here, to put the constant waiver order as it changes throughout the seasons. So that's your management tools in a nutshell, and those are all the important ones to really know and how they function. We'll head back to the main forums, and we'll check out the management office. So this is, priority information is located here, a bunch of important posts are made here, so on and so forth. Your sub forums are your first things you see, and these are two really things that are overlooked. By clicking on your league news, these are posts for myself and the CHL commissioner that are important that have been over the time. So give these a quick read if you're looking for old news, and that's where they're located. Your next sub forum is management procedures. It's just kind of a fancy way of saying your how-to threads for certain things as well too. So check out right here, removing an inactive player. So by checking out this how-to thread, this gives you kind of step-by-step how-tos of how to file warnings, stuff we just went through, right? Quick refresher of where the tools are located, what complaints you're going to file, your burden of proof. This is all really important stuff. So these are just used as reference material for you guys if you guys have any questions about how steps work. Get comfortable with them, know how they work, know how they're located, and use them as reference material is all I'm really looking for from you guys. We'll head back to the forum section. This is all important stuff too. Your management expectations will be force read to you. So the second you get access and you log into the website, this is the post you're going to see. It's important to actually give us a quick read because there's some pretty important information from here. It gives you what's expected of you as your new manager, who to contact, just basic stuff that I want you to know prior to you taking this position. It's a pretty serious position. Being a manager in this league keeps this league afloat, keeps this league functioning properly. So obviously having good people in those positions makes all the difference in running a proper league. Anything that's stickied, trade block, mid-season updates, so on and so forth, timelines, anything that's stickied means it's important. It means it's something that we posted and we want you guys to read. So I'll give you a quick example. I usually try to do weekly posts. So here's a mid-season update post I made. Gives you guys quick links to some certain things that are important. Quick breakdown of what I'm looking for. Here's your management procedures. Quick reminder where they're located. Communication and understanding. All my posts are usually broken down the same. They're always centered. Titles are always in color, so you guys know where they're at. Obviously, the cool feature that I have is I can actually see who's read it and when they've read it. So just please make sure you take the time to read these threads because they're important for your own success. And then basically use this office as your home. You have questions, you have concerns, you have suggestions. You want to make a difference? Post them in here. This is what they're for. As you can see, there's a couple poll threads I posted too. I want to propose new rules and changes. So this is where managers do that kind of stuff. This is where you become game changers and really really make things better for the entire league. So we'll head back to the main forums again. So you should also get really comfortable with the PA office. Show your players this stuff. It's so important. So as you can see right here, sticky threads as always are very, very important. So I got some breakdown stuff. So I made a post for mid-season signups, kind of giving the guys the idea of, welcome to the league. This is how you sign up. This is what's important. Player eligibility call up. So players can read this and go, okay, well, based on my status, I'm a prospect. Well, what does that mean? How high can I get called up? This is how players can learn that kind of stuff. Account vetting. So player signs up, their account needs to be vetting. This is a quick read for them to give that a quick read and tells them what to do if their account needs vetting. Xbox account verification. This is extremely important. This is with their new ID system. This is a post that Triz made. Gives you a quick video of like how to actually link your Xbox gamer tag, how to change your username. This is all very important. And make sure your players give us a read if they have these questions and just direct them in the right place. If they read this, try this, and it doesn't work, then by all means, send them to us. That's our job to help them out. But it's also our job to give you guys the information and the tools to be successful. So use these to your advantage. And then some quick stuff too, how to file a formal complaint, how to place yourself in IR, how to scout. Like, those are all really important things that players want to know. And then, of course, this is a place where players can gather and chat and bring up suggestions and ideas and so on. So it's important they know that this is a safe place for them to post and to be involved with. And we'll head back to the main forums again. So the cool thing, too, is you can actually check out all the games as well, too. So we can change our date range here to Wednesday. This will give you a range of games that were played. So any game that's got red means there's an error with that game, too. Any game that doesn't have a red means it's got all the correct stats and pictures and so on. So the less red I see, the better. It's always important to make sure that the stats are put in properly and images are put in properly. And the cool thing, too, right here is like it tell you what's wrong, right? So, goals for doesn't match. Team face-offs loss is missing. St. John's is missing time on attack. These are all like little minor things right here that can get you into a little bit of trouble, but are really important in the end. Like having verified important stats are key, right? You want to make sure that stats are proper. That's what makes these leagues good. So as you can see down here too, all your pictures are here as well too. Just got to make sure that all your pictures are input. So make sure the stats match those as well too. So that's important stuff. So it's kind of cool to see all your games and so on. The last thing I want to show you guys is just kind of the PM system. So I kind of get into my own little habit here too. Notifications. So notifications, unread PMs, friend requests, blah, 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 right? So when I click settings, it kind of gives me my recent PMs I haven't read yet. But the other thing too, which is kind of neat, is you click send a PM. So this is only available on the website. It's not a feature that's on the mobile app yet too. These buttons are live. So who do you want to talk to? Well, I want to talk to my CHL BOG. Click that button. It gives you all the CHL staff members. So you don't have to memorize them. Or you want to talk to just the commissioners? Talk to just the commissioners. Or you have a question about the website? Talk to the administrators. It says right there, technical issues. Boom. There's your admin people. Your media team. Who's on the media team? There's your media team right there. Like that's all really important stuff. That's what you want to look at, right? So when you send a PM, that's important stuff that you want to know, and that's how you want to handle things. The other thing I want to show you too is when you're in a conversation with staff, it's important to keep everyone who's supposed to be in the loop in the loop. That's what's most important. So as you check out, let me find a PM that doesn't have some sensitive information in it. So we'll say a PM like this here. So Titus sent this PM to a bunch of us in regards to an AHL issue. So as you can see right here, these are all the people that were in on this message. If you want to, every time you see reply all, you should be using reply all. It makes sure that everyone who is already in this chain of events is coming back in the same PM again. That's what's so important, because communication is your key to success. So always keep that in mind. That's pretty handy. And the last thing I'll show you too is you click the forum button. It brings you right back to your homepage. On your homepage, kind of gives you another couple options as well too. Your pickup games. This is kind of like scouting. So when during the off season you want to do scouting games, this is how you would do it with the LG pickup games. So this tab here, when you click it, scroll down, there's all the games that are current right now, right? So LG Ice Caps. So say click on this, we'll pretend they're playing a scouting game here too. So by clicking on this, you can actually, make one of these lobbies. You can pick your positions. You can host guys into practice. This is the best way to do things for scouting. Same thing too. The other cool feature, you can check out your Xbox messages. This is super handy. Since that your Xbox account is linked to, that's linked right now to your LG account, you can actually check your messages. Boom, right here, like, hey man, I read the forum. It says I need my account vetted, so how can I help you out? So this guy sent me a message, needs his account vetted. So I can reply to him right now from the LG website, which makes things so much more handy. And there's one more last feature I'll show you too. If you head back to the CHL section here, just gotta find it again. Hang on. I don't remember where it is. But yeah, so in a nutshell, this is being management. These are all the tools you need to see. That's the locations you need to check out. Those are the things you need to read. Anything that's extremely important, I always force read it. Like, give an example, like this thread here, it's got 620 views. So I made this post. I force read it to all the managers. It's important. Things that are important, I always make sure that they get force read. So you can see these are all the users that read that thread. Just take your time, ask questions, be proactive in your own learning, and I think that being a manager is something that you'll enjoy doing. You'll have fun building your own team in a league of this structure, and you'll really gain some appreciation for the tools and features that this website has to offer you. That's the biggest thing, is this website has so much to offer, and being a manager can be one of the most rewarding positions on this website. So I do appreciate your time. I do appreciate you stepping up and being a leader in this league and this website. And as always, if you have any questions, make sure you message the staff members that are responsible for your league. And enjoy your time here. And I hope you have a lot of fun being a manager. And once again, thank you very much for your contributions to this league and this website.